Making a waste-free future happen together. Your partner for change. CalRecycle is advancing world-leading reforms to cut waste and build circular use systems for all materials. Join California's climate fight and shift to a circular use economy. CalRecycle's monthly public meeting starts now.
Thank you to everyone for your patience as Cal EPA goes through our changes and make sure that we are able to webcast from the meeting rooms before we return to in-person meetings. Please check out the public meeting webpage in the next few weeks to find out if next month's meeting will be in person again or if we'll need to do that virtual only as well. We have progress and updates to share today. Before we begin, here's a brief language access message.
Shouldn't be a barrier when it comes to protecting our air, water, and land. CalRecycle is simulcasting this meeting in both English and Spanish. Click the public meeting banner at the top of calrecycle.ca.gov for a link to our webcast in English and Spanish. If you're attending this meeting in person in Byron Share Auditorium, we have Spanish interpretation devices available. Let our team on the left-hand side of the dais know if you need one. El idioma no debe de ser una barrera cuando se trata de proteger nuestro aire, nuestra agua y tierra. CalRecycle está transmitiendo simultáneamente esta junta pública en español e inglés. Puede encontrar el enlace en línea en español e inglés en la parte superior de nuestra página web calrecycle.ca.gov. Si asiste a esta junta en persona en el auditorio Byron Share, tenemos dispositivos de traducción al español disponibles. Solo informe a nuestro equipo al lado izquierdo del mostrador de presentación si necesita uno.
We will briefly pause after each agenda item to give our live Spanish language interpreter time to relay the information. Your feedback is important to us. As always, we will accept public comments throughout the meeting by Zoom and by phone. You can find the Zoom link and call-in instructions on CalRecycle's monthly public meeting webpage. Please raise your hand in Zoom or call in now if you have comments on these upcoming items: the Director's Report, the Plastic Pollution Prevention and Responsible Textile Recovery Act's implementation, grants and loans, or disaster debris recovery operations. Turning to our first agenda item, we now have the Director's Report. CalRecycle Director Zoe Heller is here with updates. Good morning, Zoe.
Good morning, Maria, and good morning, everybody. Just want to echo Maria's comments that we appreciate your flexibility and patience as the Byron Share Auditorium is getting updated. So soon we'll have better tech in there. So those meetings will be started again soon. We just don't have an exact date yet. So thank you all for your flexibility. We have a lot to get through today, so I'll keep my report short. First off, just wanted to acknowledge that we continue to make progress in debris removal in Burrell and Park fires, and those are in Kern, Butte, and Tehama counties. And Jen will provide more details in a few minutes. Another update that I wanted to provide is an announcement that was made last week, extending the date by which certain products labeled compostable must be made of materials that are allowable agricultural organic inputs under the USDA National Organic Program requirements. There's quite a bit more information on our website to unpack AB 1201 and ultimately what those criteria mean. But the extension applies to products that do not satisfy the USDA program requirements, but otherwise meet all other legal requirements for being labeled compostable. This extension goes until June 30th, 2027. And once again, we have many more updates on that on our website, on our Truth in Labeling page for compostable products. Also today, we'll be providing an update on the handling fee and the emergency regs that were recently approved by Office of Administrator for Law. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Maria. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. So next on the agenda, we have updates on the development of California's packaging and textile EPR programs. Product Stewardship Program Manager Karen Kafitz joins us now. Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Maria. Thanks so much. Okay, a few updates on the implementation of Plastic Pollution Prevention Reform, SB 54. We held an informal public workshop at the end of May to talk about draft regulations. We accepted public comments at that workshop and as well through June 3rd through our public comment portal. I'd also like to mention that we have an SB 54 advisory board meeting coming up this Friday in the Sierra hearing room. This meeting will also be broadcast on Zoom and through webcast. The meeting will run from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the agenda focuses on the advisory board's Barriers and Solutions report. Finally, I'd like to mention that we have an upcoming workshop next Monday, also from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and in the Sierra hearing room, as well as on Zoom and on webcast. This workshop is not focused on regulations, but rather on guidance that we're providing for the covered material category and the source reduction baseline reporting. We'll be accepting public comments at the workshop and as well for a couple of weeks after the workshop. We'll announce the public comment deadline next Monday. We can go to the next slide. Also want to provide a reminder that we have an upcoming workshop in July for the Responsible Textile Recovery Act. This will be our first informational workshop about the Responsible Textile Recovery Act, where we will cover an overview of the statute, requirements for producer responsibility organizations, and we will provide an overview of the rulemaking process. As with our other meetings, we'll have options to participate in person as well as online. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks so much, Karen. So today we're announcing $30 million in new grants for 13 local conservation corps across California. First, let's hear from our local conservation corps members about this program's many benefits.
Empowering youth to protect our planet.
I've been a Civic Corps for a bit over a year now.
I started in December.
Californians are finding career paths through the California Association of Local Conservation Corps.
Ever since I joined Civic Corps, I've always admired that truck and just wondered if I could drive it, and now I drive it.
The Local Conservation Corps is made up of 13 state-certified nonprofit organizations and one program through the San Joaquin County Office of Education. Their mission? To preserve and protect the environment while providing job skills, training, and educational opportunities for the next generation of environmental champions.
We have a lot of different type of people come into the Corps. 95% of Corps members come from vulnerable communities.
A lot of our young people come in without any concept of why it's a big deal to do this work. But our goal is for them to leave the program knowing why it's a very big deal.
I think we planted around like 700 trees. We also help with fire fuel reduction.
Opening new career paths to collectively save the planet.
I put in a lot of hard work to get my Class B license. I was on top of it every single day.
The Corps members are motivated to meet the unique needs of their communities.
Our conservation corps, we man it Tuesday to Saturday every day, so that way they have a place to come bring their bottles, paper, recyclables, e-waste, and stuff like that.
CalRecycle provides grants to the local Corps with funding support from its waste tire, used oil, beverage container, and e-waste recycling programs, giving Corps members the opportunity to help their communities thrive.
It feels really rewarding.
It just feels good watching all of the recycling come out and knowing like I collected all of this.
The Corps helps us transform our lives and will help transform the state. It's kind of like a dual partnership between us and nature.
So now from our Division of Circular Economy, the Finance Resources Branch Manager, Marissa Coda, is here with grant award details. Good morning, Marissa.
Good morning. Thank you, Maria. Today, we're announcing $29.6 million in grant awards under our Local Conservation Corps grant program. All 13 certified local conservation corps will receive $2.2 million to support projects like we just saw in that video. California established this program in 1987 as part of the beverage container recycling program and has since expanded to include funding for projects in proper management of e-waste, used oil, and waste tires.
Marissa, do you mind speaking up a little bit? It's hard to hear you on Zoom.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Next, we have a few upcoming grant deadline reminders. The used oil payment program application due date is June 30th. The Farm and Ranch Solid Waste Cleanup and Abatement Grant application due date is July 8th. The Tire Derived Grant Program application is July 17th. And the Tire Incentive Program application date is August 20th. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks so much, Marissa. We are turning now to our Disaster Debris Recovery Operations Program. Senior Engineering Geologist Derek Bays is here with updates on CalRecycle-managed wildfire cleanups. Good morning, Derek.
Hey, good morning. Thank you. Starting up down south, bulk debris removal for Kern County's Burrell Fire has been completed with 154 properties cleared of structural debris, with 147 of those properties having been returned to Kern County for rebuilding or redevelopment by the property owner. The remaining properties are undergoing soil testing and erosion control before a final inspection and sign-off. Additionally, 463 wildfire damaged hazard trees have been removed from the burn area. Let's take a look at Northern California, where cleanup on Park, Thompson, and Burrell fires are nearing completion. Lake County's Boyles Fire is nearly complete, with only a handful of properties remaining, and Orville's Thompson Fire has 2/3 the properties cleared of debris. The Park Fire was the 4th largest wildfire in state history, with homes damaged across Butte and Tehama counties. Crews have surpassed the 80% cleared milestone, with 87% cleared in Butte County, including the community of Cohasset. And that's all for me. Back to you, Maria. Thanks.
Thank you, Derek. So now we will go to the public comments. Do we have any public comments on Zoom or on the phone this morning? If you have a public comment, please raise your hand in Zoom or call in.
We don't have any hands raised or any calls on the line at this time.
Okay, thanks so much, Jessica. All right, so we will move forward. And as we move forward, please raise your hand in Zoom or call in now if you have comments on these upcoming items, which include the handling fee emergency regulations update, dealer cooperatives, the stewardship programs for carpet, sharps, and pharmaceuticals, or the solid waste facility permits and waivers. Again, raise your hand now or call in for these topics. And so now we will move to the beverage container recycling program updates. And Beverage Container Recycling Deputy Director Amy Cameron is next with some new developments to share. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. On June 5th, the Office of Administrative Law approved the handling fee emergency regulations. I want to thank all of our participants who came to our workshops and provided thoughtful comments. The handling fee notice for fiscal year 25-26 is now available online. The amount will be the baseline rate plus the cost of living adjustment. Yesterday, we also posted the processing payments for the 3rd quarter of calendar year 2025. There is no change to the processing payments at this time. The documents that I've mentioned and more information, including our quarterly certification and registration report and enforcement and compliance report, are available on our website and linked to today's agenda. And for any dealers out there, I'd like to remind you about our Dreams portal. To register online through the Dealer Registration and Management System portal on CalRecycle's website. There are step-by-step instructions available on CalRecycle's YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks so much, Amy. And so now we will return back to our Division of Circular Economy, again with Program Manager Karen Kafitz, giving us more updates.
Thanks, Maria. So I'd like to give an update now on the Dealer Cooperative Stewardship Plan Review. Circular CRV Association submitted a plan to CalRecycle on April 28th, 2025. On May 27th, CalRecycle sent a letter to Circular CRV Association requiring additional information to help clarify information that was provided in its dealer cooperative stewardship plan. Circular CRV responded on June 6th with additional information for CalRecycle's consideration. On June 13th, CalRecycle sent a second letter to Circular CRV Association requiring additional information to help clarify information in its updated dealer cooperative stewardship plan. Circular CRV Association responded, providing additional information and an updated stewardship plan to CalRecycle this morning. That updated stewardship plan and additional information letter will be released on our listserv later today. CalRecycle has until July 28th to approve or disapprove the plan. The department's determination will be announced at a future public meeting. You can find more details, including copies of CalRecycle's letter, Circular CRV Association's responses, and its updated plans linked in today's agenda. All right, changing subjects to our other product stewardship programs, we have linked on today's agenda 2 department decisions on the Sharps Extended Producer Responsibility Program and the Carpet Extended Producer Responsibility Program. You can access these through today's agenda or subscribe to program listservs for future updates. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks again, Karen. Before we get to our permitting updates, let's watch a short video overview on the role CalRecycle plays in this process.
To keep Californians healthy and protect our land, food, water, and air, CalRecycle and local enforcement agencies work together. Local enforcement agencies get community input, process permit applications, conduct inspections, and make sure solid waste facilities follow the law. CalRecycle verifies that permits for solid waste facilities, including landfills and compost sites, comply with state standards and inspections. Agreeing with the LEA that a permit is ready to be issued is known as concurring. Additionally, CalRecycle reviews approved emergency waivers and can modify, limit, or end them. Emergency waivers temporarily modify solid waste facility permits for up to 120 days and may be extended, providing relief for facility operators during disasters, and they're approved by local enforcement agencies. For waste tire facilities, CalRecycle issues and enforces waste tire facility permits to make sure tires are stored and processed safely. Scan this QR code or visit CalRecycle's website for more detailed information.
With our 2 primary videographers out this month, we don't have the video showing all of the different facilities in a 360 aerial view, but we do have our environmental program manager, Paulina Lawrence, here to give you all the information that's needed to share on solid waste and tire facility permits and emergency waiver updates. Good morning, Paulina.
Good morning, Maria. Excuse me. So first off, I'd like to say this is just an overview map and is not representative of what I'll be speaking to today. So I'd like to start with all those permit actions that have been concurred on or issued from last month's monthly meeting. That would be for Kern County. CalRecycle has found that the proposed permit meets all the state requirements and concurs or agrees with the Kern County local enforcement agency on May 21st, 2025. A modified solid waste facilities permit for South Kern Industrial Center, LLC. Action was needed by May 27th, 2025. For Santa Barbara County, CalRecycle found that the proposed permit meets all the state requirements and concurs or agrees with the Santa Barbara Local Enforcement Agency on May 20th, 2025, a revised solid waste facilities permit for Tahigas Sanitary Landfill and Resource Recovery Center. CalRecycle must have made a decision for this permit action item by May 30th, 2025. Now continuing on this month's agenda, for Kern County, we have US Borax. This is a modified solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 15th, 2025. For Monterey County, AgroThrive Inc. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by June 30th, 2025. For San Joaquin County, K Export. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 8th, 2025. For Kern County, Mojave Rosamond Recycling and Sanitary Landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by June 24th, 2025. For Sacramento County, JAF Tire Recycling LLC. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by September 20th, 2025. For Merced County, Agraman Merced Highway 59 Compost Facility. This is a new solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit by July 3rd, 2025. For Solano County, EcoCycle Ventures, Inc. This is a new minor waste tire facility permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by October 6th, 2025. New to this month's agenda, for Tehama County, we have Tehama County City of Red Bluff Materials Recovery Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 19th, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes: an increase to the combined permitted traffic volume for the materials recovery facility and the separately permitted Tehama County Red Bluff landfill from 400 to 600 vehicles per day. There will also be updates to the joint technical document and transfer processing report. For Tehama County, Tehama County's Red Bluff landfill. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by July 19th, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes: an increase to the combined traffic volume for the landfill and the separately permitted Tehama County Red Bluff Materials Recovery Facility from 400 to 600 vehicles per day. An addition of a Tier 2 composting facility to the existing landfill solid waste facilities permit, and then updates to the joint technical document, including the addition of a report of composting site information that addresses composting operations and regulatory standards. And then for Imperial County, Desert Valley Company Monofill Facility. This is a revised solid waste facilities permit. CalRecycle must make a decision for this permit action by August 2nd, 2025. Preliminary review of the permit package indicates the following proposed changes: changing the facility name from Monofill Facility to Desert Valley Company Monofill Facility, increasing the permitted disposal acreage from 28.9 acres to 62 acres, removal of reference to the remaining capacity and including the design capacity, increasing the design capacity from 1,839,900 cubic yards to 4,370,900 cubic yards, increasing the maximum elevation from negative 59 feet mean sea level to negative 55 feet mean sea level, and then increasing the estimated closure year from January 2025 to January 2053. Back to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Paulina. So now we will move on to our public comments. So if you want to find any more information on today's agenda items, go to CalRecycle's monthly public meeting page, and you'll find a copy of today's agenda and the slide deck. For public comments, first we'll take comments from those with hands up in Zoom, and after that we'll take comments from callers who call in. And as a reminder, your microphones will stay muted until you're called on in Zoom by the last 4 digits of your phone number. Also on Zoom, please mute your webcast if you're watching by webcast to avoid any potential feedback issues. And also even for callers, please mute your webcast to avoid feedback issues. So we will move to comments on Zoom. Are there any comments?
We don't have any hands up right now.
Yeah, I don't see any either. Okay. Well, if you
No phone calls. Oh, we have one.
okay. All right. Lenny, would you like to ask your question or make your comment? Can we unmute Lenny?
Yes. Hi, Lenny, I'm asking you to unmute. Go ahead with your comment.
Yes, thank you. I'd like a little clarity on the plan that was submitted by Circular CRV. I don't understand what the authority for that is, where an outside entity would submit a plan and the department approve it. So could I get some explanation on that? That's all I have today. And this is Leonard Lang. I advise recyclers and processors around the state.
Hi, Leonard. Sorry, I was having a hard time getting off mute there. Thank you for your question. And the plan, am I unmuted? Yes, okay. My Zoom is acting a little wild. All of the requirements about plan submission and what needs to be included in the plan are in the regulations that were approved by the Office of Administrative Law for the dealer cooperative component of SB 1013. And so that is what Circular CRV used as their guide. Essentially, those regulations were plan submittal, the department's review of the plan, and the feedback that we're providing now to ensure that the plan meets all of the requirements that are in regulation and statute.
I thank you.
Do we have any other, doesn't look like we have any other hands up. At this time on Zoom, are there any callers on the line?
No calls at the moment.
Okay, we'll give one more opportunity. If anybody has a question on Zoom, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we will move on to the final part of the meeting. Okay, well, I think this is our shortest meeting. So thank you everyone who called in. You can find the June 2025 information on our monthly public meeting webpage as part of the calrecycle.ca.gov website. And you can find the June 2025 monthly public meeting recordings. There'll be 2, one in English and one in Spanish, on CalRecycle's YouTube channel as soon as possible. Please follow our social media platforms and GovDelivery email list for CalRecycle program updates. And again, please tune in to our monthly public meeting webpage in the next few weeks to identify whether we'll be able to meet in person again, or we'll need to do another virtual meeting to ensure we can webcast it out sufficiently until the CalRecycle or the Cal EPA headquarters upgrades are finished. Thanks to everyone who participated in today's public meeting, and we will see you next month.